All right, guys. Good to meet you. Hello, Sam. How are you? Good to see you again. Okay, so what we're going to do here for the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk to these two amazing individuals. As you probably know, and I'm sure you know, that Keller Williams a few years ago decided that if no one else was going to try to identify and acknowledge and respect the top real estate agents in the industry, not in Keller Williams, but in the industry, that if no one else is going to do this, we're going to do it. And we're going to do it in the most unbiased way possible. In the hopes that over time we can continue to raise the level of understanding of what this industry really is. And the way that you do that is you acknowledge and you respect and you appreciate those individuals who are excelling at levels that the world doesn't fully appreciate, right? And when you look at what Ben's accomplished, now Ben, how old are you?
I'm in my 70s.
What? I already knew that. Okay. So when you look at what Ben's accomplished, and last year as a 70-something-year-old man, your organization did what?
Well, according to that, it says 737 million in volume and 2,095 sales.
Okay. First off, it's a little weird to call you a real estate agent, just like it's weird to call you a real estate agent. You know, that's what the state calls us. They call us brokers and agents. That's the licensing name for who we are. But we're business people, aren't we? Yes?
I've always been in business for myself.
Yes. There you go. So if you would, I want you to take about 12 to 15 minutes, and I want you to tell us who you are, and I want you to tell us how you became Ben. Because we all want to be Ben or Sam. We want to be one of you.
Well, I was talking to Sam backstage, and the gentleman who was talking here earlier about the open house system.
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to a lady, and I hope she'll forgive me because she's probably still there. I said, "Are you going to do this?" And she says, "No, that's the W word. That's work, you know." And so, how do you get the work? How do you want to do the work?
Okay.
And the way, if you can have the passion will carry you.
Yes.
It will motivate you. It'll allow you to overcome the obstacles. And
so you've had the passion.
I think so.
Okay.
But to have a passion, you have to have something to be passionate about, and so you have to have a vision. Okay. And so. So what is your vision about?
Yeah,
okay?
so what's your vision about?
My vision is my specialty, okay? And I never have any goals. I just have a vision, and that vision is to be better and better every time, every year. And so that's my philosophy.
Now, you got in the real estate business when?
At 21 years old.
21 years. Me too.
Is that right?
Yep, 21 years old. Yep, where?
In Dallas.
In Dallas, Texas. Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from Florida. Both parents were brokers.
Ah.
And so, you know, I just thought real estate was where I should go.
Ah, very cool. So what did you do? You at 21, you end up in Dallas. What did you do?
Well, my car broke down in Dallas, and the people were so nice that I said, I'm just going to live here.
How about that? Is that a true story?
It's absolutely true. I was in my mother's car driving back from Houston, and on my way back to Oklahoma City, where I was in the Air Force, and it was a Sunday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the water pump went out on the car, and people stopped, helped me, took me to a motel, told me where to get the car fixed, and that was why I'm in Dallas.
No way. That's awesome. So now you're in Dallas, your car's broken down, you decide to stay.
Yes.
What'd you do?
Well, I had to find an apartment, and so there was an apartment rental service. I went to this company, and I didn't like the way I was treated. I didn't think they did it as well as it should be done, and so I started a competition.
No way.
You know,
at 21.
And you know, in Texas, if you say you can do it, at least they'll give you a chance to do it. They'll give you the opportunity. And I say in Texas, I don't have a lot of experience other places. So
no, but yeah, it's in most places, but Texas, you definitely is that kind of country.
And I like the other Texas saying that if you can do it, it ain't bragging.
Oh yeah, right, of course.
So anyway, I just started that business, and I was going around in my mother's '54 DeSoto and using the payphone to call the owners of these major apartment builders, telling them what I was going to do, and some of them were taking me to lunch and have at it, boy. And so I did that for a while and got into the building business, home building business for a while, and one thing led to another. In the mid-2000s, you had the internet coming into full maturity. Before then, builders didn't even have computers in their sales offices.
That's right.
And so at that point, I'd been doing some of what I'm doing now, but on a very low volume and very disorganized way. And so I said, got to do this via the internet. And so I started developing the program. It took me a while. And but now we have a very, very smooth system. We can handle tremendous volume. I have 2 assistants to do this volume. Now, yeah. I have a technical support team, but with my 2 assistants, I can do 13-minute turnaround on average turnaround on our listings, or any change request. And it takes a builder about 2 minutes to initiate a new listing request. So they love it because there's a lot of time savings, a lot of efficiency. And builders have many ways to market to consumers, but they don't have really any marketing channels to market to the people that sell the most homes, and that's the realtors. And so they hire me to market to the realtor community. And I do that initially through MLS, and then I give them, we provide them with a suite of reports, and that's one of the compliments I received from one of the major builders we work with. He said, of all the things that you do, Ben, I really like the Friday AM report. I get it every morning, 8 o'clock, every Friday at 8 o'clock, and I can, with a glance, see the status of all my inventory. And so, that may not be the same thing that others would appreciate. Most of them appreciate the day it's on market that we're able to save them. We've done many case studies that show anywhere from 15 to 45 days less marketing time, depending on the builder and other factors. But we're confident that we're able to save them many times what they would lose had they not used our service.
Let me ask you a question, because we could talk for hours about the structure of your business. What I'm interested with both of you is, if you were advising me today and you were saying, Gary, go build a real estate career, what would you tell me?
Well, I would ask you what part of the real estate business do you know the best?
Okay, and I would give you an answer. And then what would you tell me?
I would tell you to specialize in that.
And what does that mean, specialized to you, Ben?
Well, to do that exclusively. I mean, you can be a property manager, you can be specialize in FSBOs, new home, open house, or whatever.
You're saying master it.
Yes.
You're saying specialize and master it.
Yeah, I don't think you can master anything if you don't really devote yourself to it and just study it constantly.
Now, you could have actually changed the name of Mega Camp to Mastery Camp, because essentially when someone gets up on this stage, the biggest reason that they're here is because of what you just said. They have specialized in an area and they've mastered it. They've mastered it. They get it, and they get it at a huge level because it's their one thing over all others. Now remember, one thing doesn't mean only thing, right, but it does mean at the minimum, the predominant thing that drives their career, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you think holds people back, Ben? You've been in this business a long time. When you sit back and you reflect on that, What do you think holds people back?
I guess people reach a comfort level. Some people are, unfortunately, have parents that don't support them. Not that I had the perfect childhood by any means, but, I had kind of the opposite. I kept telling myself, I'm going to be so successful that my father will have to acknowledge me and tell me that he loves me.
Well, I actually relate to that because that's my story. And it was really weird. It wasn't until my 20s that I looked up and realized I was okay. And then when I realized I was okay, I went, oh no, I'm screwed. Because now I don't have to earn that respect and affection. What's going to drive me? Which actually was the greatest spiritual journey of my life, getting through that. But I do understand that. Whenever you see someone that succeeds at a high level, it's because they have a big why. And it isn't always a function of why, is it?
No.
And that's the weird part about it. I would say, Tony, probably in half the people I meet, at least half that are incredibly successful, they actually come from a big why that you really wish they didn't have, to be honest.
That's
right?
Interesting.
That you wish they didn't have it. Well, you look at the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Right.
And here's ALS raises, what, 20 million a year? And all of a sudden, one young man who has a big why decides he wants to make a difference. And here they've raised $140 million in less than 60 days.
Wow.
On their way to maybe a $500 million.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you would hate for someone to be ill to be the one driving that, right? That's a very sad, sad why. But I can't imagine how much bigger a life you could have than being the person that was the catalyst to change the world like that.
Right.
So I don't, well, the aha that everyone sitting in our audience should have is that true success and true fulfillment of a passion comes in the pursuit of doing it the best you can. And so, and that's the concept of mastery. Though I don't know that there's anything as ultimate mastery, right, where you're perfect at something. But the path of mastery, the willingness to say, okay, I can do it, I can do that better, what would that look like? And then recognizing that you have a value proposition, Ben mentions that he has a way of servicing his clients so that they perceive the value is the path of mastery, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the whole path that you guys have described to me. Yeah. Okay, one last question before we go. What did I not ask you that you came here today that you were hoping I would ask you, or you were prepared to be asked?
Well, I wish you'd give me a little heads up on that one.
Oh gosh, okay. Well, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. We're going to run out of time, and I know that I don't always ask all the right questions I should. So my question to you today is, what would you like to say that you haven't been asked? What would you like to say to this group of aspiring business people?
Well, I'd like to say that it's humbling to sit next to Gary Keller, him honoring me.
Well, it's an honor, so trust me. Wow. Wow. You can say two things now.
I'll stick with that one.
Okay, good. All right, fair enough.